We're in 1959. We're going against an 1854 from the US. We're going to open with the D4 opening. Okay, he's just responding quickly. We're going to develop our bishop, go over some Stonewall stuff, but he throws in the bishop to G4, which hits the queen. So we can't do normal Stonewall stuff. So I'm going to kick it. I think this was like maybe my first game in the series. And I think in that game, perhaps I brought my knight out. I think that's what I did. I don't think I kicked the bishop yet. So let's develop the knight. Let's see. Castling, knight here, and c4, or I could try to get in e4. I mean, this is next move, right? And I'll just take his bishop. Maybe. It's no longer Stonewall, so. Okay, he goes here developing his bishop. Now I could hit the bishop. I think I should. Let's see what this knight's doing here. This doesn't do anything if he goes here. So I'm going to throw this in. Hitting the bishop. If I take the bishop, you'll never have the knight on e5 like you would in the Stonewall. So after I take, I can push f4, go knight e2 and castle, but I'll never have this knight to put here. So it's not really a Stonewall. I mean, it is, but not a good one. Okay, first instinct is take with the knight. He's going to take with the pawn, which does open up his rook. At which point I don't need to do that yet. I mean, should I? It's hard to tell. So like take. My next move would be e4. He can't go bishop d6, and if he takes, I take with the pawn, opening up my queen's diagonal. That looks kind of good. It might be too early for it though. This pawn's not hanging because of check. I could just castle and go c4. There's also this. Takes. No. This. If he doesn't take, c5. Push. Knight somewhere. I'm gonna try it. We'll see what happens. I could have just castled and gone for the c4 plan, but I'm gonna try something probably sharper. Definitely sharper. So he does go c5. Okay. He goes c5. I was thinking I can kick the knight. If he goes for the bishop in return, I can take the knight. He has to take the bishop. Also here, it could go back. Knight somewhere. I Could also rip it open, which helps him develop. If I take here, that's not good. I could throw in a check. He blocks with a knight somehow. Then I kick this knight. Takes. Take the pawn, check. I'm gonna go for it. Keep it very sharp. He retreats the knight, which gives me more space. And he can no longer team up on this pawn. Okay. I need to continue. Oh, if he takes this, I need to be ready with a pawn to solidify this. So this looks natural, and when he puts more pressure on it, threatening to take, then I can take here, and he can take here, and I can take here. Let me go c3. Why is this guy asking if I'm streaming? Because I'm slow? I'm just slow, dude. This also opens up my queen diagonal. I'm using a lot of time. Kind of weird with this pawn here instead of a knight. So he does go here. I could move my bishop like here. I could defend this pawn with here, which I might do at that actually. And then when he puts more pressure and also hits this, takes. What am I doing about this? Tricky. If I go here and he puts more pressure, this looks natural, but this response is concerning. And if I hit the queen and he takes my pawn, I can always intermezzo the queen, and if he takes it, I take it, I'm fine. And if he queens and I queen, and he takes my queen first, and then I take, and then he takes, and then I take, I have double isolated pawns here. How do I... There's definitely a move here that I'm not seeing. I could just take the pawn, and after he captures here, I don't like that at all. And if I just move back and he still puts more pressure, this pawn's not protected. I could just go here, and if takes with the pawn, I can take with the pawn. And if he takes it here, I take here. That looks fishy. And if he goes here, I may have to go for this. He gets a pawn, I get a pawn, he gets a pawn. I get a piece, he gets a piece, he's up a pawn. But I may just have to go for that. Queen here, and still. Queen here, queen here, bishop here. Pawn takes. Bishop takes. Something takes. That looks kind of, that might be a holding move. It's hard to tell. He doesn't have a light squared bishop. So maybe this is good. What else? Oh, he has queen check here. I didn't even see that. Huh. Yeah, probably bishop e3, and then there was probably some way to hold after queen b6. Now if he goes here, and I kick it, then he can just, okay, he goes here. I was thinking here to go here. He can't move this knight. And then I can always take the knight, removing pressure from my d-pawn. Alternatively, I definitely don't want to take. Boom, boom. He's hitting it again. And I really can't defend it again unless I undefend this pawn. So let me go here and give him pressure back on this diagonal. He's pressuring me here on the d4 square, and I'm going to pressure him on these squares. I want to try to maintain 2 pawns here and here. And I really need to get these 2 pieces developed to protect my king. Just get this guy out here, this guy, like, I don't know, maybe here. My king's still in the center, so's his. Mine looks a little more open, but he can't get to it now that he didn't put his queen here. Even here, I'm not sure it's the end of the world. If I block, I don't know, here or here. I mean, that probably would have been annoying to have to defend accurately. I'm glad he didn't do that. I might just have to go like king f1 in that case. He takes the pawn. If I take the pawn and he takes with the queen, then I get a piece. But then he can throw in no checks. All this check. That doesn't work. If he takes the queen, I take back. If I take here and he takes with the knight, check, king goes somewhere. It's not the end of the world. I think I should take the knight first. Force him to take back. And then take this. Then his knight looks dumb. His queen's not actually hitting anything. It seems like the safest alternative, even though there might have been a trap the other way. I could take with the queen, but after c5 that looks bad. So I'm going to keep the pawns in the center, and then he's going to play c5 anyway. He's going to play c5 anyway. So here, c5. If I defend this way and he takes here, that just looks no good. So here, c5. Maybe castle. No, castling puts it on such a bad diagonal. Huh. It'd be nice if I was more developed. So if I take with the queen and he pushes c5 and I go back, then this pawn's hanging. And here's c5. Maybe just develop the knight. Let him take. Maybe develop. Okay, he develops the bishop. Maybe to throw in a check. I could castle now. But I feel like if I develop my knight, which I kind of want to, and he gives me this check. If I block it, he just takes it, so I don't block it. And if I castle, and he goes c5, and then here, and then here. Man, I feel tangled. I feel like I need to figure out the way out of this. Again, this check, I can go up, probably. Light squares, my queen defends light, might be a move. I might go with that. I might just go with that in development. Although, is there a case to be made for putting the knight here instead of here? So this can get here. This can get here. This. There's also this. That's kind of lame. This. 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 I'm just going to develop because I don't know what else to do. Maybe he throws in the check. I'll move my king. I need to get my pieces out, even at the cost of a pawn here. It's turned into some like weird French with f3. So taking's out of the question. Now where do I move my king? I mean pushing, not taking. I don't want to go here to block my rook. This blocks my bishop. This blocks a knight. I think I'm going to go here. It still gives my rooks places to go. Queen covers this. Pawn covers this. Only his queen can really try to do something. So probably c5 now. Does let me get in here and here now that his bishop moved. But I should really develop. So c5. This pawn is still loose. Maybe I have to go like he castles. Now I can kick the bishop. He can protect it or go back. And what's the point of that? I think I should develop. Let's develop. Actually, b4 stops c5, but undefends this pawn. Oof. Good thing I saw that. b4 is an otherwise really good move. That's unfortunate. Maybe here? No, this pawn's hanging. I need to do this pawn and this pawn. Do I need to go rook b1? Otherwise, this, let him take the pawn, kick the queen. Well, the queen's trapped there, actually. So this might be a free... It's not where I want to put it here. That's the thing. But maybe this is a free developing move with the trap. Let's try it. I don't think I have a second for this, this, and even then I would have to go to A1 because the B file's open. So my king is kind of toast. He does this, which, oh, I guess he wants to push C5 and it was undefended, but I like to see moves like that. Okay. But now what? Maybe I should have gone here with my king. Hard to say. If I go here, then he can take for real. Although then I go here. His queen is in my face though. It's so bad. I have this. If he takes. Yeah, my pawns are super weak, but my king can come in. Maybe my rooks get activity. This pawn hangs. Man, everything's always hanging. Um, I'm gonna go here so that I can go here. Okay, we'll call that unanticipated. That's a reason I should have done that, definitely. Um, let's see. So this moves still, and on C5, we'll see. So let's defend it. Now we have this that he might have missed. My queen's undefended, so he can go here. God, man, my only tactic, and my queen's undefended. Could go here. Takes. So if I did go here and he went over, my queen and my bishop, and there's no way to fix that construction, so I could just go here for now. He can win this pawn at the end of it, I think. So like takes. If I take here, he can take immediately here. Then it's loose. Then I can maybe hit the rook and take. Okay. I don't see any intermezzo moves for me. And I don't want him to get this, so I have to take the pawn. If I take here, he'll probably just take here. And after I take here, he goes here. That's not so good. I don't really see what else I can do though. I could take here immediately just to try to complicate things with the knight. But this looks bad too. Yeah, playing G3 and that was definitely advised at that other time. And I probably shouldn't have played E4 on move 8. I should have just developed my pieces and played an easier game. Oh well, I know for next time. This is interesting. I just was one tempo too late to defend my pawn. Quite annoying. Okay, what trick do I have? Do I really have no trick? I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm about to run out of time. So let's kick the knight so he can go to a better square, because that makes sense. And now he's threatening checks and 1,000 other things. Let us hit the rook for no reason other than we're going to run out of time. And let's give his queen access so that he can have an easier checkmate. That's the plan. Easy checkmates. And I'm totally lost here. He could push, take, take, take. Oh, he can't push. I don't know. Just bring your queen in, maybe. Let me take the rook. Check. I don't know. Somewhere. Check. Mate. Oh well. We're gonna go down 10 points. And we'll have to get it back later. I should probably move faster earlier in the game, so I don't have to make random moves now. But what are you gonna do? He brings his rook up. I'm gonna hit his knight and not run out of time. 2-1. He always has this check. And then I'm toast. Anywhere I go, I'm just getting destroyed. My queen's doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't even see any swindles. I've been looking for them. I don't see any swindles. Yes. Now this guy has 10 minutes. He didn't think all game. And now that he's completely winning, can't possibly mess it up. He takes his time. Random move, 3 seconds. Check. And then push the pawn. Ah, this is GG. It's been GG, but check here. Take the rook. I take. You push the pawn, maybe? Yeah. So many ways to win for him. Queen here. King here. He does this instead. Not entirely sure that that was the right move, though. If I go here, then he can give me check, and when I block, his queen actually can't come in. Let's give that a shot since I'm running out of time still. I was going to take the bishop, but this looks more confusing for me as well as him. I can imagine he's going to give a check. And then this isn't good. I have to blockade. No more queen check here. Hopefully he falls into it. That would be exactly what I need. He moves the queen. I have to take the rook, right? Oh, but now I have this. But then he does have check. Does he have any checks here? No, he still has this check. Ah! And when he does and I go here, I mean, he can almost win, right? I'm gonna go here just to stop this and to just give an annoying check for some 10 seconds. I was looking for some type of check here. He moves his king, I take, but there's no perpetual. I can't even check him again. Oh, that threatens mate. But he was gonna check me here. And I was gonna go here, check, here, takes. No, then I get mated first. I still have this. And on check here. No, 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 because he comes in with the queen. Darn it. Even when I move it anywhere, he comes in with the queen, and that's mate. That's mate. So I have to leave this here, even though it looks like I could win stuff. I can't. Maybe I could just do this. He doesn't trade queens, and I mate him. That's an idea. And if he does trade queens, I hit the rook with tempo. Rook moves some. Oh, and the bishop's hanging. So if he goes like here, maybe I win. I have a hard time thinking he's not going to move one of these, but I think if I go here, that's sneaky. And the faster I do it, maybe the sneakier it is. So here threatens mate. He, he, oh, he stops all my ideas. God damn it. And this actually walks into this. This. Uh, I have to take. Man, I was really excited about Queen E5 too. That looked kind of tricky. He's hitting my queen. Check. I hit his queen. I couldn't think of anything and I had like 1 second left, so. Counter check, which I didn't see. If I go here, he's going to push the pawn. I'll blockade the pawn. He goes for my rook or something. And the only perpetual is on this diagonal, which is like not even something to look at. How the heck am I going to make that happen? It would be so obvious too. And I don't even really have any ways to get there. And it's protected twice, so bad. If I can take this pawn somehow. He's only up a pawn. And the problem is my king is so weak. If he's just up a pawn in a rook endgame, I could probably draw it. Oops. Oh my god. But the way my king is, there's no way I can draw this. He doesn't have any checks. This looks reasonable. I get a rook. He gets a second queen. He's up a queen. So that's obviously not going to work. So I have to blockade. I'm hitting the rook. And I need to get... He's threatening different types of mates and stuff. I need to get my queen in here. I can't even calculate anything. Okay, so he takes a pawn. He let me take that. What? I can't calculate. No. Oh, he's threatening mate. He's threatening mate. Oh no, my queen was covering it. Damn it. Now I could take a pawn. That's what happens when you have no time. You just start doing dumb stuff. His weaknesses are protected. He can go up a second pawn. That's really not good. Maybe I can arrange this sneakily somehow. Not likely. But maybe. Maybe this. Some. He checks the king on a light square. This is mate. I see. I moved. I moved. Oh my god. You didn't even let me try to defend. Okay, so we're going to start this. Game review. And this was a mistake. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Why in the world wouldn't I just play normal stuff? There's moving the knight out. There's castling. There's so many. I think in the other game I did this. Yeah. Yeah, so you see black was already -3 at the beginning of all of this. And I'm already at 30 seconds at -5. There's no, I knew there was nothing I could do. I knew I was completely losing. And they're only making me redo this? Like, what? Where did I go? I went here, but I should have gone to a light square maybe? No, I should have gone up the board and to here maybe. That's hard to look at though. Oh wait, this isn't forced? I mean, I have oh, I have this pawn, which doesn't actually work. I guess I don't need to do anything. So what would I even do though? Like this? It's a mistake. Better than -17 though. It's only -3. Okay, so if I'm not taking, and that, okay, I throw in a check, but I need to move after the check. Ah, it is rook f3. Oh, I see. It puts the king onto a vulnerable. It actually threatens to win the queen. Interesting. Yeah, this is all lost. So let me do a move by move. Okay. So here, develop a piece. I like it. Here, I did do this knight thing, but his bishop's not doing anything. It's going to have to go here anyway at some point. So I need to get on with making my position stronger, more powerful. C4 is a powerful move, but even 92 I like. And after C5, C3. Huh. Then I guess you're going to play for E4 later. And if you don't go knight D2 right away and you go C4, he could take, but if he goes C5 instead, I think maybe you liquidate everything. So, or maybe you just leave him with, huh. Let's say E takes D5. Yeah, I don't really like this pawn structure. It's weird. I guess I could ignore it and just go along with my day. And if he ever takes, I guess we both would have an IQP. I could take with the knight too, though, or the queen even. I guess that's fine. But instead, I went for the bishop, which is unnecessary. I took, instead of playing solid here, which is what I should have done, Here I can play c3, I can castle, I can even go back into the Stonewall structure just without this knight. Actually, yeah, I should have gone f4. Because even though the other knight can't get there, this knight can. And even though you want this knight here to protect this, you could probably put your queen here and stop this. And he doesn't have a bishop to reinforce that square. Okay, so this was a mistake. They think taking is the best. I was gonna take this way, and then they're saying knight c6. And yeah, these are just too weak because I don't have c3 in yet. And wow, and I'm just a little too weak. I can see that now. He's got two pieces out. Oof. See, that was way premature. So he pushed, which is what I thought he might do. So they want e takes d, knight c3, bishop g5. Bishop g5 I like because it indirectly defends this pawn, which doesn't need defending. Knight c3, and if he takes, imagine you can throw in a check and take back, or you can go knight in here, but maybe. Yeah, bishop b5 check. Also knight b5, but yeah, bishop b5 check, and then take the pawn back with the queen. That looks somewhat reasonable. I pushed, but it's still my turn. Oh, this is like the variation where you just give up the pawn and leave it here, and eventually you can get it back later. f4, d takes c, and g3. I thought on this, like, I don't know, everything's just weak. My diagonal's weak. I guess I could do stuff. Yeah, I could not figure out what to do here. So bishop b5, d takes c, but bishop e3. I thought bishop e3, queen b6. And how do you defend? Yeah, so the only way is queen b3, but I thought that um, this just leaves me with this, and it gives him this square. I thought he would plant something here. And then I didn't want to play that. It was probably just a lesser evil, though. Definitely lesser than what I did. A useless queen move, followed by the only logical follow-up after the useless queen move. Take, and even though material's even, it's -3 or -2. And I could feel it. I could feel it that I was just toast because these guys weren't out. Like if this guy was just happened to already be here, then I'm fine. Castling, bishop e3, even probably giving up this pawn maybe is fine. But I'm just like one or two moves behind. I didn't even consider that move. Yikes. Here I also didn't know what to do. Castle f4, knight c3. They're all equally just trash. And here, yeah, I thought later on that maybe here might have been better. Although I don't see a huge difference. Now, I was wondering why I should play g3, but in hindsight, he can go here, so g3 couldn't have been too bad a move. Going here first probably makes more sense because I did want to put my bishop here, not here. I went here to set a trap, but he didn't fall for it. Again, I had the opportunity to stop him, but I didn't even consider this idea. So I went here. You can also defend the pawn this way and bring the rook over. I didn't do that because I wasn't sure if I wanted to ever bring my queen back here, but maybe it makes more sense. Also defends the queen, which is nice. Okay, that's fine. So he goes here. I allowed this, which was just trash. He played the only normal moves. Now I'm going to take with the bishop, but how is this different than this? Oh wait, I must have played a wrong move. Queen takes d4. And then again. I guess now the queens are off the board and I'll just be down a pawn in a rook endgame. That's not so bad. That's not bad at all. So what was I thinking? If I took here, I thought he would take. And I didn't look at the queen capture. I just looked at the knight capture. So I took this way. And he took that way. And then I played that move. 1, 2, 3. This forces takes. And then some weird sequence. And then I'm kind of stabilized there. But instead I did f4, which makes no sense. But I did it because I think at the time I was low on time. I had 9 seconds. So I went there. I jumped in because what else am I doing? I have no moves. Everything's losing. So we just play out the next moves, but it's... Wait a second. I had an opportunity here to go king f3, and which attacks the bishop and the queen. I didn't go here because I thought that he would give me a check, but I could just take the bishop. Because after I go here, he has to move his queen because it's hit. There are no... Well, there is a queen trade. But then again, he loses... No, he doesn't lose the bishop. Well, it would be take, take, tempo, and then lose the bishop. Wow. King f3. Yeah, dude. Woo. Cool move, but I had no time for any of these moves, so... Queen b4. Yeah, because his queen gets in here. Yeah. I was wondering why he never played that in like 1,000 moves, but... And again, I had this opportunity because he put himself in such a precarious position. His only defender would be the queen, but I missed it because, again, no time. And I did this one move too late. And then I wasn't even looking at stuff like this because I saw it was GG. So I had to stop GG. And then it just doesn't even matter what I do. Alright. Alright. I did what I could. We're down 10. We'll get him back next time. We'll develop more first. Now we know.